Let's talk for a moment about cravings. There's not a whole lot that's going to derail our success faster than giving into a good old craving. The good news is, though, is that cravings don't last all that long, really only just a few moments. So if we can manage to get past those few moments where the cravings are around, we can come out the other side and stay successful. Now, I like to look at cravings as kind of like a moth attracted to a light bulb. The moths are the cravings themselves, and the light bulb is the attention that you give them. The longer that light bulb stays on, the more attention that you give to those cravings, the more moths are going to come around, and they're going to be harder and harder to get rid of. So what you want to be able to do is to be able to turn off that light bulb, distract yourself away from those cravings, and then the moths will fly away. Now, sometimes we can do this by just a little thing, a little change up of maybe going to get a drink of water or calling a friend or playing a little activity on our phone, something like that. Sometimes, though, cravings are a little bit stronger than that. Sometimes those little distractions aren't enough to make the cravings go away. Fortunately, I'm going to teach you a technique that I teach to all of my clients to help do just that, to help shut off that light bulb and make those moths of cravings go away. This technique, once mastered, is a very, very powerful tool to have in your toolbox. And when you get good at it, you can use it to change your emotional state from anything negative to a positive. It doesn't have to be just cravings. You're really only limited by your imagination, and I encourage you to try it out whenever you're wanting to change the way you feel about a situation. But for today, we're going to talk about it and apply it to cravings. Now, this technique is based off of emotional freedom technique. It's also known as a tapping technique. It's based off of traditional Chinese medicine that believes that all negativity is caused by a blockage in our life force or qi. There's the life force that runs through our energy meridians, and these are the same life force that is used by traditional acupuncture. When there is negativity, your life force becomes blocked. And so in order to make that negativity go away, you need to break through the block. And in this case, the negativity is the craving. So what we want to do is make that craving go away by utilizing this technique to remove the blockage. Now, the very first thing that you want to do is rate the level, the intensity of your craving on a scale from 0 to 10. 0 being don't have any craving for it at all. 10 being, I'm going to knock somebody out of the way if I don't get what I want right now, if I don't give into that craving. You want to find out where you are. Now, typically, anywhere above probably a 7 or 8 is pretty dangerous territory. So the first thing you want to do is just kind of check in with yourself and find out how intense is this craving. So let's say, for example, you're at a 10. You really want that craving, and it's really, really hard to ignore. So acknowledge that you're at a 10 and just make a mental note of it. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to repeat a positive affirmation, because what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to replace that negative feeling with a positive affirmation while we're going to be tapping on these various energy meridians. And I'm going to go through this with you in just a moment. So the first thing you're going to do is create your affirmation. And the affirmation you would use in this case is, even though I have this craving, I thoroughly and completely accept myself. Now that's going to be important. You're going to repeat that 3 times. As you're repeating that affirmation, you're going to start with your first energy meridian, and we call that the starting point. And that is either side of your body, find your collarbone, either side right here, and go down about 2 inches, and then out towards your shoulder about 3 inches, somewhere out here or on the other side. And you're going to feel around in there, and you're going to find that there is a place in this area, you might have to feel around for it, that is just a little bit more sensitive than the surrounding area. Once you found that sensitive spot, that's your starting point. Now you're going to rub this starting spot in a circular motion pretty hard. Now you don't want to bruise yourself, but you really want to feel it. And as you're rubbing that spot, go ahead and say your affirmation 3 times. Even though I have this craving, I thoroughly and completely accept myself. Even though I have this craving, I thoroughly and completely accept myself. Even though I have this craving, I thoroughly and completely accept myself. Now we're getting to the tapping points. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to follow along and tap these places on your body about 7 times. Don't have to tap them very hard, just tap them where you can feel them. Use your 2 fingers. And so while we're tapping, you're going to want to just own the craving. Acknowledge that you feel it. Acknowledge that you want whatever it is you're craving. It's okay. We're going to do this as we tap our spots. So here we go. Starting with the first point is right at the beginning of your eyebrow. Just tap that spot about 7 times, thinking about your craving, how you want it, how you feel. The next spot is on the corner of your eye, right on the eye bone. Go ahead and tap there about 7 times, still thinking about your craving. The next spot is on the bone right below your pupil, right here. Just think about your craving, tap this spot. The next spot is between your nose and your upper lip. Just still thinking about that craving. Moving on, down between your chin and your lower lip. Tapping it here, thinking about your craving. Next one we're going to use is on the collarbone. Not the starting point, but right there on the collarbone, thinking about your craving. Still thinking about it, owning it. Next one is under your arm. Just right up underneath, a few inches below your armpit. Just tap in here, thinking about your craving still. Now we're moving on to our hand. So you're going to start with your thumb. I don't know if you can see it. This is your thumbnail. Edge of your thumbnail, and then your index finger, and then your ring finger. This is your middle finger. Skip your ring finger, go to your pinky finger. Still thinking about your craving. Side of the hand here. Again, just still thinking about your craving. Now, what you're going to do is there's a spot on the back of your hand where your pinky finger and your ring finger would intersect back here. Tap this spot and follow me. Open your eyes. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Look down hard to the right. Look straight ahead. Look down hard to the left. Look straight ahead. Roll your eyes in a circle one way. Roll your eyes around the other way. Hum a couple of verses of a song. Let's say Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hum again. It was Happy Birthday, not Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but you get the idea. All right, now go through again and tap. Same spot, beginning of the eyebrow, side of the eye, under the nose, under the lip and chin, collarbone, under the arm, thumbnail, index finger, middle finger, skipping the ring finger, going to the pinky finger, once again side of the hand. Now that you've gone through that cycle, check in with yourself. What is your level of intensity now for that craving? Between a 0 and a 10. What should have happened is that you should have noticed it come down. Where it might have been a 9 or a 10 before, maybe it's come down a little bit. Where you want it to be is between a 0 and a 2. Almost little to no craving at all. If you find that craving is gone or between a 0 and 2, congratulations, you're done. You can move on with your day. If you notice that your craving has lessened, but maybe it's not that far down, maybe it's more of a 5 or a 6, well, you're still in kind of a danger area. So what you want to do is go through the whole process over again. This time, though, your new affirmation will be, even though I still have this craving, I thoroughly and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this craving, I thoroughly and completely accept myself. Even though I still have this craving, I thoroughly and completely accept myself. And then you go through the tapping again twice and check in with yourself. Usually after about 1, 2, maybe 3 times, you'll find that your craving has moved on, you've turned off the light bulb, the moths have flown away, and you're good to go. And then once you learn how to do that, you can use it for anything. Like I mentioned, if you're having a bad day, if you're in a bad mood and you just don't want to be in that bad mood anymore, practice this technique. You can use it for a lot of things, and I really highly recommend it.